everything here with my hands. And now I'm just seeing what fits and what doesn't, and using it. It's hard to bolt stuff just to something. But, yeah. Sorry about the fan, I hope that's not too loud on camera. But, as you can see, we've got the GoKart, the 13B transmission. I did not put this one in yet, because I can't on my own. And also I do all this wiring stuff and everything, but that's going to be the most time-consuming part. By that I mean, it's coming apart, as it should be now. We're going to pump coolant out of the engine with a kid's toy. I tried doing it by mouth, but it's just not powerful enough, so I had to cut the fuel hose because I couldn't get it off, so I'm moving this thing out. Nothing else is kind of... right now I'm going to take the entire rear subframe off because there's part of it that I have to cut for the rotary to fit, which is not going to be too bad, so I'm going to take it off. So in order for this to fit, I have to cut off this, these bars, battery box, these ears here, and these. So, yeah, you have to put all that stuff off, and then I can put it back on. Okay, so we have some GoKart stuff here. These are the wheels for the GoKart. They're not really anything special. I just got them so I could mount big ass paddle tires on it, which those should be coming soon. They are 14 inches wide. They're massive. These are 15 by 10s, which they will still fit. Don't worry. I know it's not the same. It's not 14 inches wide, but they will still fit. My Supra has 235s on it, and those are 7-inch wide wheels, so there's that for reference, but it's going to be insane. So I'm going to open these and test fit them. It should fit. Right bolt pattern and everything, so I want to like steal these just 'cause. Come on. I mean, they still are technically like steelies, but they definitely look better than them. But so I just have to get that guy off. Easier said than done, I know. Right now I'm going to pick up the engine and move it to test fit it in the GoKart, just to see where my mounts are going to have to go and how well it will fit in there. Basically just to see what I'm going to have to do to it to make this work. So I'll pick this thing up and see what happens. Here are some mean ass tires. How's that for a pedal tire? Let's see me insane. So clearly there's been a lot of progress on it that I haven't recorded. The camera was dead and I wanted to try to get some of this done. So I have the engine kind of sitting in here on the hoist just so I can mock up where engine frame mounts are going to go. And I'm going to start mocking up an area to weld to the subframe. And I also have to figure out what I'm going to do for the suspension, as I am going to use my hubs for strut towers, because it'll work perfect. Yeah, we got more stabilizer bars that are going up, so it's a little bit sturdier. We've got the absolute monsters of pedal tires that these are on this thing. Like, good lord. And yeah, we got the engine in here. I had to take a couple things off the engine to modify them so they will fit. Like, this is the exhaust manifold. I have to take that off to even get the engine in here. And I had to take the intake off to modify it so it would fit. But right now I'm going to start welding stuff in the back. And my thinking is I can weld that, and at some point too, I can make fenders that come off of these arm pieces and then come around in front, so I'm not going to have like dirt and stuff getting chucked at me, but I'm going to build more like protection. Obviously I have a whole sheet of aluminum that I can use for body panels, but I'm going to see what I can do. So, as usual, I did a lot off camera, just because it's easier, and I don't want to damage the camera. So, this is all just random scrap metal that I've had laying around from when I built this the last time. And I've essentially made, like, the base for the rear suspension, like, top. No, it's not done yet, but I've got bars going across. They're welded on top and bottom, and we've got bars here so it's support on both sides. And I might add another bar going up and down. I'm not really sure yet, but I'm not done with it because I'm going to add more to strengthen it, and I have to add something so the entire top of the strut tower is connected. But yeah, getting better with the welder. I had to get new wire because I looked it up. The wire I was using was pretty cheap, and it's why it was coming out like this, which is absolute garbage. And now it's infinitely better now. Like, and that's just because of it was a cheap welding wire. So I've got Lincoln Electric wire in there. Took the sides off of it just to cool it down, or keep it cool for longer. But yeah, it's coming along pretty quick. I have to put air in that tire. The other day, this entire side of the frame fell off, which I was not happy about, but I ended up re-welding it back on, and the welds were a lot nicer this time. I'm still not done because I have to weld this side back on to here and the subframe, but overall that's coming together good. I have to cut off that bottom bar because it's hitting the oil pan and the starter. It's hit in the way of the starter when I lower the engine down. So once that's gone, I should be able to plop the engine down in here, and making engine mounts isn't going to be too hard.
I see where they are and see where they have to go. So I'm already making a plan on what I'm going to do with those. It all just depends on how low the engine's going to sit. Which, it's a good thing that it sits low, because better center of gravity and everything. So, oh yeah, and obviously I have to weld that crossbar back up there, because that fell off when this side fell off. But, yeah. This is strong. This is strong. These welds are so much better now. I got up here and I stood on this, and it feels good. So it is coming along nicely. I painted some parts for the rotary, the whole intake I painted. This looks way cooler in the sunlight. I'm not going to show that till, I mean, you can see it on my Instagram. Actually, no, I think that was a story. But I'm not going to show that till it's on there, like the sun version of it. We got the other part of the intake painted, and I painted the black part of the intake, the plastic part. I mean, this is still plastic, but it looks infinitely better than it did when it was plastic. So, trying to think of what else to do next on it. Obviously there's more welding, but there's other stuff I gotta do as well. So right now, for the very first time since I started this project, took the motor out and everything, I am going to try to set the rear suspension down, and this thing will officially be a rolling chassis. As you can see, we have the tires on. They look absolutely insane. I need to put air in that one a little bit, but this is obviously a test, because I don't know how strong these will be, but these are bolted down, kind of like cross members, so it's like a big triangle. Should be plenty of rigidity here. We have this holding up this side. At some point I do want to add a third bar that goes across in the back, and it's the same setup on that side. So we're going to, don't worry about this being like tilted, I'm not too worried about it. And if it looks like this is crooked, it's an optical illusion, because one of the frame rails is up like another inch compared to this one. So, and one of them is also bowed out a little bit on purpose. So, let's see what we can do here. Jesus, okay. That was annoying. Alright, what's up? Move the jack stands out and hope that when I set this down, well, that it doesn't go progressive as it did last time, but also that nothing snaps and everything works. This is what I can only hope for. Oh, that's a problem. I already see one. It's detached right here. Okay. Oop. That's why I wanted to add a bar in the middle, so it gives more support to this. So I can already see some issues, which is a good thing. This is why I'm doing this. It's on the ground right now. Yeah, clearly have some other things I have to tweak out. Like this is, I think it's because this moves and flexes too much, which I can fix. Oh, there goes the other one. Okay. I'm honestly not surprised by that outcome. These, I kind of figured would break off because they're only held in from the bottom. So what I'm going to do then is attach them like how I attach these, where I cut a hole through the middle of them and split them so they're on there the right way. I mean, so I'm going to tweak that. And you're not going to make a good design if you're not failing making it before. So I'm testing it, making sure that it works. So when I put this down, that it doesn't break other stuff. But yeah, I'm going to need something stronger to hold that up. Like a slitter, definitely. Because it's got all the spring pressure on it. Which this is holding it up great. It's actually keeping it off the ground, I think. I can't really tell because the diff is just there. But yeah, make some more brackets in the back of this and then we should be good to go. So yeah, both of these bars in the back broke off. So I'm going to work on designing that so it's much stronger and can hold up to that. The other crossbars are doing exactly as I planned. They are working great. Welds are holding strong. Springs are working good. I just have to make things that are stronger back here so they come up and kind of like sandwich over this, like how these are. Just heard something else break. Oh, I see what it is. I'm not surprised by this either. This weld wasn't strong, it was kind of a shitty weld. This came off down here. I'm not surprised, there was a lot of tension on it to begin with, so I'm going to work on that, work on the other side, work on getting those back bars going, and then this thing should be good to go as a rolling chassis. Figured I'd give another update on this thing because I haven't filmed. Mostly because all I'm doing is just sawing metal. You gotta start somewhere. I'm doing grind hard plumbing level stuff. Like, they have what really inspired me to build this stuff. Like, I don't mean their level of craftsmanship because they're on a whole new level. I mean like the level of insanity. Like, yeah, let's put a 13B in a go-kart type of thing. But they have a lot of fabrication tools and everything. Like, at some point when I get like a pipe bender or a plasma cutter would be really nice for cutting things, a better welder. I mean, the one that I have really isn't bad for what it is, but it's never bad to upgrade. Obviously the go-kart looks very simplistic for what it is right now because I'm working with limited tools and whatnot, but it won't stay that way forever because once I get better equipment to fabricate stuff, it's gonna look a hell of a lot more crazy. And at some point I probably will be redoing the frame, you know, like sometime down the road when I'm able to upgrade a whole bunch of things and finally make a tube frame for it. But that'll be after we get this thing done because I want to get this done at some point soon too. Alright, so we pulled the jack out from underneath the go-kart, which is sick. Right now I am cutting another cross member for the other side so I can get that on, and then I can move it outside. Okay, so right now, I mean obviously I'm just gonna take the exhaust off because it's not attached to anything. Come on. Cat is heavy. There we go. Alright guys, so now come on. There. Now what we're gonna do is take off these jack stands, and this thing will be supporting its own weight for the first time ever. It's officially a rolling chassis now. No jack stands. Fuck yeah. Okay. So y'all can probably see what's about to happen here. Probably gonna break something, but I don't really care. Alright, so I know the video kind of ended abruptly there. I didn't film too much afterwards. A lot of it was just, again, me working off camera because it's a lot easier for me to work off camera instead of trying to film everything, because a lot of it is mostly just troubleshooting. Because, as I was saying earlier, a lot of this whole process is mostly me learning as I go, because I don't really like doing things where you're reading instructions. I like learning how to do things by just experimenting with shit and just working on it and doing it that way, which is how I'm going about this. I'm just kind of experimenting with stuff, seeing how things are going to work, putting it together, and then in the end, once I eventually get everything together the proper way, once I figure it out, it's going to be sick. Obviously, it's not the most efficient way to do it, but I'm doing this more to have fun, something to mess with and build, just to kind of tinker with at my own pace, make something ridiculous, you know. Obviously, the welds aren't great, but it's not terrible for a 90 amp flux core MIG, so that's honestly not bad. It's getting pretty good. This video ends off with me trying to pull it out and part of the subframe mounts broke, which honestly was expected. Everything that broke, I'm actually glad that broke in this video, because it's allowing me to see all of the weak points where it needs to be improved and whatnot. So currently the frame is a lot better. It can roll and move around. We can't start it yet because we realized that because the ECU has no other modules to connect with, there's no CAN bus communication between modules. So even if we got the wiring hooked up on it, it wouldn't run right now. So at some point I'm going to get a standalone for it and hook that up, and then it should run. Which, that's the only reason why I won't right now, is just because I need to hook up a standalone. But I don't know if I have enough footage for part 3 yet, but we have gotten a lot further on it. I am planning on fully redoing the frame at some point as well, because right now I pretty much had it set up so I could roll it around and put it in my trailer that you guys will see a video of soon, because I needed to move it out of the garage because we store wood in there in the winter, so I had to at least get it out of the garage. So I got it so it rolls. I want to get a bunch of tube steel, weld that together, build a better, much stronger frame for it, because it's going to need it, especially with the amount of power that it's going to be pushing out of there. I want to redo the rear strut towers and that whole setup and everything, but that'll come when I redo the frame, which it'll be sick. It's going to take a little time, obviously, but I'm excited for it. Drift car is slowly coming along. I've got a lot of the cage in there. Once I'm working on cleaning most of the inside of it right now because it's a fucking disaster. Pulled the ECU out of that and found some issues. You'll see that in an upcoming video as well. So if you're still here watching this video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. Really appreciate your time watching this video. Hope you're enjoying the build so far. Obviously, it's not like super like strict guidelines building it, whatnot. It's just me working around, building shit in my garage with the tools and resources that I have. So yeah, hope you guys are enjoying it. Hope this inspires you that you can build anything. You know, if you have an idea, go do it. Like 2 years ago, I was in the hospital, pretty much not expected to live with my heart transplant, and here I am, single-handedly swapping a 13B into a go-kart, of all things. And I honestly have to stop calling it a go-kart. At this point, I pretty much built my own damn car from the ground up, so it's interesting, but I'm excited about it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate your support. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep up on the builds, feel free to hit that subscribe button and whatnot. So yeah, thank you. I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't know when I'm going to upload next, but I'm going to try to make it like more not as spaced apart in time, because winter time I don't have as much going on, so I should have more time to make videos. So also let me know if you want like more medical story times and whatnot, shit like that, and other build videos, because I've got a couple other things that I want to do. that you will see in the future at some point. So yeah, I will see you guys next time I upload.